Hello, we are doing a kiln repair today at Sarah Horn's studio. This is her kiln right there. Right now she has one element that is dead, but we decided to go ahead and change all of the elements because why not? I am going to hand the phone to one of my amazing assistants. There we have Hannah, Liz. Those are the artists in residence for Core Clay. And I'm going to hand it off to one of them to go ahead and send this out. Kelby! Hi, Kelby! And if you want to share this to people, Kelby, I won't hate you. It'll be cool. All right. Here you go. Who feels like doing it? There. Mm-hmm. All right.
So just
switch the camera to me. There we go. Okay. Let me know if anybody asks questions.
okay.
So first of all, what we're going to do is the most important step, unplug the kiln. So we want to find that power cord is back here, goes up to the wall. There it is. And unplug it. If your kiln is hardwired to a wall, you will have to turn the box off. But trust me, it's very important to take the power out of your kiln before you dig into it. Guess how I know? I didn't actually injure myself, but I came close. Where is the... There we go. If you are doing kiln repair, one thing you will really want is a good toolkit. Because you show up for a tool, or for a kiln repair, and you don't have the tools, and it's really annoying. Alright, so, first of all, we're going to unscrew the boxes. Looks like flatheads. But this is an older kiln, so it's a little atypical. Alright. So Sarah's been doing this for, I don't know, a long time, like 10 years with this kiln, and she's never had to change the elements because she has low fires. So, and there is Sarah.
Ice waters and a Sharpie to put your name on them.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. All right. One thing that I should add to my toolkit, liquid wrench, or some WD-40, because frequently these things are just a little corroded and hard to unscrew. Dang it. Okay. Maybe I have WD-40. Do you have WD-40 by any chance?
I can certainly go look.
Okay.
I'm going to look in here first, though.
I'll keep working on it, but ice, water.
I do have a tripod over here, too, if you would like.
All right.
This is very old. I cannot really vouch for it, but it does exist.
Good enough.
Here is a
Perfect.
tripod in case anybody would like to use that.
All right. We also have this one. So if you get tired of chasing me around with the camera, any of those. All right. Let's see if this helps. You don't want to put too much on because obviously you don't want to make your kiln flammable. Dang it. We're just going to let that one soak in for a second. Maybe I can do it this way instead. So this is a different model from what I'm used to. I'm just going to see if we can open it up a different way. Because there we go. This one's easier. Perfect. So, I'll go ahead and close this. Liz and I just did a kiln the other day where we carefully had put all of the screws together for a move for somebody, and then this is so annoying. Then the kiln got moved, and the screws didn't get moved with the kiln. So make sure, most important, keep track of where you put your screws when you do this. There we go. So a kiln is basically a giant toaster oven. And each circuit operates like toaster oven circuits. This is a kiln company that no longer manufactures kilns. So fortunately there is a solution for that. Every kiln has its own set of shapes for their elements, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. So you have to get the right elements for the right kiln. And if your kiln company goes out of business, then sometimes people get really freaked out that they're not going to be able to match those. But fortunately, there is a wonderful company called Euclid, spelled Euclid. And I found out it's because there's some Greek test called Euclid's elements. So I kind of love that that's sort of a pun. It's kind of great. All right. So that is the inside of that box. See, it's a little dusty. In a perfect world, I would have brought a vacuum cleaner. Do you want to go ask Sarah if she's got a vacuum cleaner with a hose attachment? That would be great. So, step number 1, before touching it, remember, turn off your power. So, we have turned off the power before we do all this. Also, the other day I came down here to do some research on it, and I lit up the whole kiln to see if it was having a hard time getting the temperature. What she did was she had a firing go for hours and hours and hours, and it never stopped firing. And so she was like, hey, I'm not getting the temperature. And I said, well, you've been firing with the same elements for 10 years. Probably need new elements. We ordered new elements from Euclid. So they came super fast. And then I came down and we checked, and it really was one specific element was not lighting up, and it was this third one down. However, while you're replacing it, you really might as well replace all of them usually. If one goes out, they're probably all going to go out. If it's going out the way this was going out, it was dark where all the rest were lighted, then you're going to have an issue of either a breakage or something's not connected. Basically what you're trying to form is a complete closed circuit that goes in one side, comes out the other, and then these will complete the circuit when it's firing. We are not replacing the feeder wire set. We're just doing the elements right now. Hopefully that will take care of the problem. If it still doesn't work after that, we'll get new feeder wires. The feeder wires connect the circuit to the switches, and then the next one we would do would be the switches if it still didn't work. So, oh, remember on the arc when I was saying there's other ways to tighten the bands? This is sort of the more sophisticated way. What that one had was just a screw. The screw is not quite as sophisticated. Awesome. All right, we're going to vacuum before we put it back together. Also, these are the wonderful screw down element.
Were they the pain in the butt ones?
No, these are good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So there's a couple different types of attachments. If it takes a screw, it's way better. Oh, but it is strong. So we're gonna get the crimping tool for crimped elements is a total pain in the butt, but that is the other way of attaching them. But it sucks because you have to like pinch the metal, and if you don't pinch it just right, it won't make a good connection, and you only get one with each element, and then you don't have one. So the screw down ones are delightful.
Now, were you going to check and see if there was electrical issue?
No, not right now. We're going to do the elements on this one, then we'll do a different video of electrical.
Okay.
Okay. Do me a favor, Liz, if you would hold this. So that one of us has got there. There we go. Ooh, squeaky. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. Yep. There. Now, take that. You might as well do all of them on this box at a time. So usually when I'm doing a video, it's more of a how to throw and more fun. This is more of a technical one, so I understand if my mom doesn't follow along on this one.
Here's a bowl to put things in.
Thank you. In fact, you can always find a bowl at a potter's studio.
Any sort of receptacle you need, just let me know.
Perfect. Sarah, how did we meet each other?
I'm gonna guess through Diane.
Probably,
She was
yeah.
opening up
Yeah.
Indigenous.
Ow!
Oh,
Hi, Indigenous, if you're there. Indigenous used to be Show of Hands, used to be out at Kenwood, and then moved to O'Brienville, and now to East Walnut Hills. Okay, so we've got this circuit, so this is 2 elements here. With this kiln, all of the elements are the same type of wire. With a Skutt kiln, you'll have a top and bottom element has a different resistance so that they get a little hotter, so that it fires evenly. The L&L kilns that we sell now have a hard brick trough for the elements, so that when you pull these out, it doesn't chip away the brick. You can see here that they start to chip away over a while. It's emotionally damaging the first time you do it. So just to warn you, as I pull these out, we're going to get some element chipping, or some kiln brick chipping. But these elements are really not in terrible shape. So you want to try really hard to lift them out. The way you can tell elements need to be replaced is that they'll sort of, as they fire, they'll kind of work themselves into the brick. So they're kind of embedded in there. Also, when they're really old, they'll be very breakable, like that. And if you look in here, you can see there's some wider apart, closer together spaces. In another kiln, I've seen it where they just start to fall down. They just kind of fall over. So this kiln does have widely enough spaced tracks that I'm not getting too much breakage here, which is nice.
props to Dennis Allen for
Props
his
to
good
Dennis
choice
Allen.
in kilns.
Dennis Allen is a wonderful ceramicist.
And human.
And human, and friend, and musician.
Mm-hmm.
Take those out. If you want to, if you do a lot of things that use stilts, you can make stilts out of these, little firing stilts out of your dead elements. Especially if they're not super worn out yet. These are slightly lighter weight elements than what I'm used to, but I'm used to a triple phase kiln. So that is a little bit heavier gauge wire. We're probably going to do this in a couple of sections for the video. when you get to here, you just kind of have to slowly tug it out there, and that's the end of it. Then that's going to want to come off. And they don't send new ceramic casements. That's to keep your wire from coming in contact with the metal. Obviously a crucial thing to do. The most common screw up that I have made was to attach it and forget to put the ceramic insulators in there. And when it's with one of these, it's no big deal, but when it's with a crimp instead of a screw down connector, then you crimp it and cut your wire off, and then you have to redo it, and you may or may not have space on your element to do that. So,
Are those reusable?
these,
The
yes, those, yes. These are not.
no, I understand that.
Yeah. Yes, they are reusable. They really don't do much other than sit there and get hot and cold. So. Oh. There we go. One more element done. Okay, so that's one element out. I'm going to go ahead and do the replacement on this without doing the whole thing. Normally what I would do is take everything out and then replace everything at the same time. But I'm going to go ahead and vacuum this real fast and replace it so that we can do one video that has the whole thing all at the same time. I'm not going to tell you. You want me to do that first? No. It's okay. I just know if I can't handle a vacuum cleaner. I rolled over my toe. That working okay? Perfect. So your elements will last much, much longer if you vacuum. So I just sucked up the ceramic insulation.
Oh no!
I'll get that back out.
Oh
Sledge
no!
shop backs are great. Just gonna-
I don't know what it's like
Oh
in there.
no. It'll be fine.
Oh man!
Cool.
Oh man!
Well, let's just see if we've got another one. Sometimes we've got, yep, I got a spare one. Okay,
Oh.
we're good. There we go. Let's see if it works.
We do not have a spare shop vac bag, so we're gonna have to reattach that
Yeah.
bag. But
We're good. Yep, we can do that.
Okay, cool.
Not a problem. Although this is when you can tell she's a Capricorn. Sagittarians don't bother with a bag. Oh, man.
this is actually more my husband's doing.
No, I'm still gonna blame you.
I don't actually even know if I put that on right. So
You did. That's exactly right. You did so good.
it's they make it for
You're like a pro.
dummies. So
Perfect.
right up there with it.
All right. So there's that, and I just happened to. There should be 4. Okay, I know I didn't take 2. Oh, there's the 4th. Okay. So these come in one big set. Euclid includes some wire for pinning things into place. The previous set was not pinned into place, however it stayed there lovely and easily used. Didn't pull out. The nice thing, any of your kiln breaks here, looks like they're on the top edges of things, or not so far down that they're causing it to sag. Nobody likes a saggy kiln element.
There are very few cases where sagging is beneficial
Yeah.
or appreciated.
Or appreciated. So, has anybody asked any questions on there?
Oh,
Oh, is it live?
Yeah, we're doing live right now. Oh, hey! There's Nicole, hello! and Kelby and Molly. Awesome. Hello, people. Hi, everybody. Just figured I should go through and see if anybody's asking important things. Hi, Janelle. Okay, cool. All right, oops, wait, there's a question. Yeah, they rough up your brick a lot. It's kind of horrifying. So,
I can pull this up on my phone on the live too because I'm in.
Oh, do that,
play.
yeah. And then share it to anybody who needs to. If you'll share it to Play Alliance, that's perfect. Awesome. We are working on our social media presence. We've got a YouTube channel now. Here's that. So, I really like the Euclid's way of doing things. It's just simple to the point. So the different kiln companies, advantages, disadvantages. The L&L is great because of the hard brick, like we said. But the Skutt is wonderful because there's crimps in each corner. So as it goes around here, it fits in and just kind of pops down right where it's supposed to go. All right, so there's no, on a Skutt one, this element has a loop at the end. You have to cut it before you can put it through here. But that is not a thing on this. It's a little tiny hole on here that pokes right through. So you screw that right into there. And then, ooh, do you have a blowtorch by any chance?
No.
Well, we're going to do this in a two-part demonstration then.
What is the blowtorch for?
So, I just realized while discussing the brilliance of the Skutt crimps, what they do is they heat it up. So, you can't get the bends to stay properly until you heat up your elements. You want to make sure that you let it uncoil while you're putting it in. This is just gonna roughly fit in here. Come on, buddy. In that box, there is a bag full of pins. Tiny little hole.
Leah Reynolds asked if a hairdryer would be hot enough.
Ooh, a hairdryer is probably not hot enough. In a pinch, it'll do, but it takes a lot of energy to get it to work. What we're going to do is lay it in here. We'll get it all of the wires will be laid in place, and then I'll come back with a blowtorch probably in the next 24 hours and just warm it up in those spots and get it to actually like sit back into place. So we'll do it in two parts because honestly it's like a 3-hour video otherwise and you guys are going to get really bored. So the end part of that is we'll put these back in here. Like so. Make sure those are there. Then we have cutters that will cut off the end. I like to give a little extra room just because if you need to adjust it again, it's important. And then we will screw the connectors back on. I'm doing it as if they'll be out at the tip right here. And then the box will go back on and then it's all done. I'm gonna cut this short now and we'll go ahead and work on the rest of it. And we'll do this again when we get to the second part of it. When I bring the blowtorch in, we'll do a second round of this. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.